Hi, I'm John Maxwell. When the top companies in the world are looking for trainers, speakers, and coaches, there's one name that stands above the rest, and that's Maxwell Leadership. Our certified team members have gotten proven results for companies all over the globe, and our reputation, I'm proud to say, is second to none. Some of our members have risen to the top of their profession, including the one you're going to meet today. I proudly introduce you to my friend Bob Fabian Zinka.
Welcome to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ, where we help you lead with purpose and succeed with impact. If you're ready to grow into the kind of leader others want to follow, this podcast is for you. If you're determined to elevate your success and leave a lasting legacy, this podcast is for you. As my mentor, Dr. John C. Maxwell reminds us, everything rises and falls on leadership. Our goal is simple: to inspire you, challenge you, and equip you with insights that can transform the trajectory of your leadership journey. Welcome aboard to another episode of the Leadership and Success Podcast with Coach BZ.
Is that Angus Fletcher, Primal
Yes, Angus
Intelligence?
Fletcher. Thank you.
Okay.
Angus Fletcher. That's right. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Actually, another one guest in my podcast had mentioned that about maybe 3 or 4 months ago. Actually,
Great.
this is another selfish reason why I do this, because I'm always learning, trying to see what do I need to read next. So this is the second time it's been mentioned, so I will definitely pick up this book. Wow.
Well, great. And the standard, everybody knows to follow Dan Pink and Adam Grant, right? They're doing amazing work all the time.
Yeah.
But I think everybody should know about Amy Edmondson if they don't already, and they should also know about Angus Fletcher. So
that's fantastic. You also mentioned this one.
Yes. Ruth is amazing. She does incredible work on mentorship and on what makes people successful across many different types of industries and activities, especially as interviewed a lot of Olympians, I think, especially.
Yes.
So yeah, Ruth Goshen is a fantastic mentorship thought leader and coach, and I definitely recommend her to all of your followers.
You also mentioned Lisa.
And Lisa Fain as well. Yes, Lisa Fain is Pacific Northwest with me here, and another person that people should know in the mentorship space too.
And I think I almost got her to agree to be on the podcast. Anyway, we are talking. Hopefully, she's going to be here very soon, because we have so much to learn from her, especially when she talks about mentorship. I mean, I think it could be life changing. Okay,
absolutely.
I could be talking with you for hours and hours, but I see I only have about 8 minutes left. So let me ask you this: if you could choose three people to have dinner with, they could be alive, dead, or even mythical figure, who would you choose and why?
So I chose 3 very different people, and I think, gosh, there would be so many people, right? But one of them is Beryl Markham.
But yeah, you are correct. It also reminds me something General Powell said, right? I think don't let your ego be too close to your position, so that if you lose your position, you might lose yourself. Something like that. But it's so important to really truly have a purpose, and maybe that's why in the military specifically, I said at the beginning of the podcast, that's why I do this moment of gratitude every single day. So many of our veterans, they just don't know how to handle the real world once they're outside of the military. Because I remember, especially when I was enlisted, I mean, the Navy did everything for me. They told me when to wake up, when to go to sleep, when to eat, where to be, what to wear. You don't have to think about anything but your duty. But then when you go back to this world, it's like you have to make all of those decisions by yourself. And it's, I think it can be quite a challenge. But let me ask you this then. What's the difference between value-led leadership and performance-driven leadership, and how do you integrate both? I feel like as a seller, no, as a service member, we have great value. Like in the Navy, it's honor, courage, commitment, but you also do have to perform. Like we say sometimes, if you don't perform, people might actually die. But how do you integrate that value-led and performance-driven?
I'm glad that you're asking about the integration, because it's not an either or, it has to be a both and, right? And I think the values and purpose is really values in action is how I think about that, right? Purpose is not a goal. It's not a destination. It is a direction, and it's a direction that is founded in values, working towards a vision. So none of us ever fully fulfill our purpose. I don't think we live. Life is in fact part of our purpose is to live and to contribute to this world in some meaningful way. And so I think that must be at the base of all of our work, is values founded in values, and that foundation moving forward. And then on top of that, then you do have performance requirements, right? And there has to be accountability with that as well. So it's not just a feel good sort of a thing. It's you, but you do need to ensure that you come back to always coming back to the values that are driving you, which means you have to have done that initial work to understand what are my individual values, where do they connect to the values of the organization that I'm working for. Those are going to be distinct, but they should be at least compatible, if not completely aligned.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're jumping into the powerful leadership lessons from Captain Shannon Huffman Polson, one of the very first women to fly the Apache attack helicopter. We're going to pull from her incredible story to unpack a real, practical guide to courage, grit, and leading with purpose. And we're going to start by totally rethinking what courage even is. Okay, so let's just throw out a common idea about courage right now. We picture it as this one heroic, split-second decision where all the fear just vanishes. But Shannon Polson tells us, nope, that's not how it works at all. Instead, she wants us to think of it like a muscle. It's something you build over time with practice, with discipline. It's not about becoming fearless. It's about learning how to move forward with the fear. And that idea right there, that's our first big takeaway. It's such a simple but powerful shift in thinking. Doing hard things makes you better at doing hard things. You don't just wait around to feel brave, you actually train for it. So, how do you actually do it? How do you build that muscle? Well, here's the game plan. You start small, with challenges you know you can handle. Every little win builds momentum. And get this, you can even borrow strength from successes in other parts of your life to fuel your courage for something totally new. So, how did this play out in her own life? Let's look at this major turning point for her. The year is 1993, and the combat exclusion ban on women has just been lifted. She steps forward for a huge new challenge. She decides she's going to fly the Apache helicopter. Now, in a battalion of more than 100 highly skilled pilots, she was the only one. The only woman in a group of 120. Just let that sink in for a second. How on earth do you lead in that kind of environment from day one? Well, her solution is just brilliant, and it gets to a core principle of leadership. She knew she had to lead with excellence first. Before you can lead with your voice, you have to build credibility with your performance. Excellence becomes your shield, it becomes your advocate. Now, this commitment to excellence is actually just one piece of a bigger framework that she developed after talking to hundreds of elite performers. We're talking generals, rescue swimmers, the whole deal. She calls it the grit triad. And it's this really powerful cycle. First, you commit. You own your story, your past, and you connect to your why. Then, you learn in the present. You engage, you listen, you build up your team. And finally, you launch into the future. You take risks. You act on your values. You're audacious. But it is so crucial to understand what grit is not. It's not just being stubborn, mindlessly banging your head against a brick wall. Real grit is different. It's disciplined persistence that's grounded in a really clear, meaningful purpose. You see, it's this much richer, more complex part of who we are. It requires resilience, sure, but also deep reflection, a community to support you, a willingness to fail, and, maybe most important of all, the courage to get back up and try again. Okay, so now let's see how all of these ideas were put to the ultimate test in the most extreme circumstances imaginable. This story comes from her time flying missions in Bosnia. The mission is incredibly dangerous. They're flying at night over active Serbian weapon sites. You can just imagine the tension in that cockpit. And then it happens. A lethal anti-aircraft system locks onto their helicopter. They are target acquired. A piercing, screaming alarm just fills the cockpit. And in that exact moment, the controlling agency radios in and offers them an out. The voice on the radio says, "If you're nervous, you can return to station." So they have a choice: abort the mission or fly right into the threat. And what they did next, this is the whole point of the story. Instead of turning the helicopter around, they reached over to that screaming alarm, that warning device, and they just turned the volume down. That one single action illustrates the lesson perfectly. See, most leaders don't actually struggle with capability. They struggle with noise, the alarms, the distractions, the fears. To succeed, you have to turn down that noise and keep your purpose locked in the crosshairs. So, after passing this ultimate test of focus and purpose, what's the core wisdom she brings back for every single one of us, whether we're in a cockpit or a boardroom? This actually comes straight from her battalion commander, and it's just a profound truth. Power, authority, it's not for you. It's not to make you feel important. Its only good use is to serve and to take care of the people you are responsible for. This right here is the absolute heart of what we call servant leadership. It's a whole philosophy where rank equals responsibility. Authority isn't some prize you win, it's a tool you use to lift up, protect, and empower your team. So when you strip away all the complexity, all the books, all the theories, and you ask her to define leadership in just 2 words, Polson's answer cuts right to the core. It's not about strategy or power. At its most fundamental level, leadership is love. So we'll leave you with this question. It takes that incredible lesson from the heat of the cockpit and puts it right into your hands. To see your mission clearly, what's the noise, the distraction, the alarm, the fear that you need to turn down this week?
Welcome to our podcast dive into leadership, grit, and purpose, beyond the cockpit, if you will. Today, we're exploring the journey of CPT Shannon Huffman Polson, who shows us that courage isn't an instant act, but a muscle we build through practice.
Absolutely, and it's fascinating how her story bridges the Apache cockpit to boardrooms. What really stands out for you in her approach?
Well, it's like her idea that courage is moving forward with fear, not without it.
Yep,
She calls it practicing courage every day, a discipline.
that's insightful, and she really dives deep into that notion with her grit triad. Can you break that down a bit?
Sure thing. The grit triad is all about commit, learn, launch. First, you commit, owning your story and purpose. Then you learn, which means active listening and engaging deeply with the present. And finally, you launch, which is basically daring to risk and fail forward. It's like setting up
Right.
stepping stones for success.
So, in a way, it's a continuous cycle of growth. Now, what about her experiences in extreme situations, like that Bosnia story?
Oh, that story absolutely grabs you. While flying over Serbian weapon sites and being tracked by an anti-aircraft system, she was faced with split-second decisions. It wasn't about being fearless, but about maintaining control and clarity under intense pressure. She had to keep her purpose in the crosshairs, turning down the noise, literally.
That analogy really hits hard. Purpose as your compass in the storm. But I wonder, don't you think sometimes this kind of leadership narrative focuses too much on individual resilience rather than collective leadership?
That's a fair point. While she emphasizes personal excellence and courage, she also underscores the importance of taking care of your people, reminding us that authority comes with the responsibility to serve. It's not just about surviving. It's
Yeah,
about
exactly.
lifting others as you lead.
I love that. So excellence becomes both a shield and credibility, especially when you're one of the few in the room.
Yes, exactly. Shannon explains that excellence isn't just about performance, it's about silencing the doubters. When you're the only one, your drive for excellence leaves no room for excuses. It's a deterrent, a kind of advocacy in itself.
And for women in male-dominated fields, that message is especially powerful.
Absolutely. She advises doing your homework, building your team with trusted allies, and simply being excellent. If you excel, folks are hard pressed to question your legitimacy or contributions. It's like turning excellence into an act of advocacy.
Moving on, I found her perspective on failure refreshingly honest. It's not about stubbornly pushing through at all costs, but learning and adapting from each setback.
Definitely. She says, "Nobody likes to fail. I hate it. But failure is part of the path to success." It resonates as a reminder that every stumble is an opportunity to run toward the obstacle and use it as a building block for growth.
And that ties back to the idea of grit being a muscle, a complex part of our character that requires resilience, purpose, community, and reflection.
Yes, indeed. Grit isn't just gritting your teeth, it's a disciplined persistence that's grounded in what truly matters. It's like saying, "I'm going to face the wind and keep moving, even when the gusts of life are strong."
Right. She also highlights the need to build strong teams. No leader succeeds alone, which is a powerful reminder for anyone navigating complexity or transitions.
Exactly, and that speaks to her emphasis on servant leadership. The idea that true authority is about using power to take care of your people rather than to elevate oneself. It's a call to emotional and moral responsibility in leadership.
And that's so timely too, considering today's high-pressure environments with AI, rapidly changing markets, and the inevitable noise of the world.
Right, in fact, she says that without a clear purpose, success feels empty. Purpose anchors us, cutting through the distractions and perfection pressures.
Yeah, I particularly appreciated her coaching prompts, like asking what noise we need to turn down in our lives this week. It sparks a lot of personal reflection.
Absolutely, that is one of the gems. It's about reconnecting with purpose, whether in high stakes decisions on a mission or personal life shifts, particularly for veterans transitioning to other fields.
Right. And then there's her advocacy for well-rounded reading. She challenges us to get back to real books, instead of just scrolling through our feeds.
Yes, that point really hit home. She's urging leaders to read widely and deeply, from literature to scripture, to foster empathy, wisdom, and character. It's like saying, knowledge deepens our humanity, even in an age where AI can crunch numbers.
I can see how that balances our technical know-how with the human touch, making us better leaders overall.
Exactly. And speaking of balance, one of her most striking takeaways was when she described leadership as love.
Yeah.
That love is evident in every decision to serve, support, and empower others.
That's a beautiful concept. But do we risk oversimplifying complex challenges when we boil it down to love or excellence?
That's a good challenge, and admittedly, it might seem a bit idealistic. However, Shannon's framework doesn't trivialize challenges. It provides strategic practices, like starting small with courage, to build up to those bigger ideals. It's a mindset that evolves over time.
And it does make you think about practical steps. For example, in your daily role, what does starting small look like?
It might be setting aside minutes for reflection, actively listening in team meetings, or even reading just one chapter of a thought-provoking book. Small, consistent actions that cumulatively build your courage muscle.
Right. So, if we were to give listeners one clear action item today, what would that be?
I'd say pick one area in your leadership practice where doubt or noise is clouding your vision. Turn that noise down. Commit to doing a small, courageous act in that area, whether it's reaching out for support, reflecting deeper, or challenging the status quo.
That sounds incredibly actionable. And it's all about ensuring that every step you take is in touch with your greater purpose.
Precisely. It's about moving forward with fear, but also with absolute purpose and care for your team. Leadership at its core is about building each other
Yep.
up.
And for all those transitioning and navigating uncertainty, like veterans or engineering leads, the reminder is to keep that focus. Your purpose is your lighthouse in turbulent times.
Exactly. And as she says, lead with love. That's the ultimate direction to channel all your actions and choices.
Right on. This conversation really brings home how interconnected our inner drive, our personal development, and our leadership responsibility are.
Absolutely. It's like a masterclass in leadership that calls us to practice, reflect, and rise every day. For anyone listening, remember, keep your purpose clear, turn down the noise, and lead with love.
Yeah, that's the key. Thanks for that deep dive. It's been an energizing conversation on courage, grit, and the soulful practice of leadership. Till next time, keep leading with heart.
All right. Thank you so much for watching. Today is Saturday, December the 6th, and this was the 10-minute AI recap of the leadership conversation I had with the one and only Captain Shannon Huffman Polson, U.S. Army veteran. She's an author, a speaker, a veteran, and we really talked about leadership, grit, and purpose. And please make sure to purchase a best-selling book, The Grit Factor: Courage, Resilience, and Leadership in the most male-dominated organization in the world. And also, please sign up for our course, Leading with Purpose. I'm going to share my screen here just for a second. Let me do this. Follow her on LinkedIn. And I believe I had a LinkedIn page showing up. So that's going to be linkedin.com in Shannon H. Polson. So go there and follow work on LinkedIn, but also go to our website, shannonpolson.com. And from here, you're going to be able to access a Great Institute website. And if you go there, you go to offering and you go to courses at the Great Institute and go to leading with purpose. It's a fantastic course, and I really encourage everybody to do so. All right. So we are now going to start our moment of gratitude for those who've been watching the show. Every time we meet, we want to take just one moment and take time to be grateful. And part of the reason why we do this is because in the military, it's about 21 people who die every single day. Service member and veteran. So today is on day 10 of my 21 days grateful challenge, which I started on Thanksgiving Day. And I've been doing this for 4 years now. So this is the fourth time I am doing this. So the way we do this is going to take less than a minute. It's just going to take a quick moment. So if you would maybe close your eyes, put yourself in your happy place. Mindset, learning mindset, a growth mindset. That's really what I am grateful for today. As you know, my call sign in the Navy is BZ, which it also stands for Bravo Zulu. And I really love it because in the Navy, uh, you know, I am not perfect. Of course, I make mistakes. I'm a human being, but I have the spirit of excellence, not perfection, but excellence. I want to do better. I really believe that my tomorrow will be better than my today. And I think my today should be better than my yesterday, as long as I'm growing, as long as I am learning. So I am very, very grateful for that. And that's why I am always open to, correction and feedback. No matter who you are, please always provide me feedback. I think I've really never met a stranger in my life, but even when, I guess there might be less than half a dozen people who, for whatever reason, they don't like me. But I really believe that everybody who meets me and knows me really loves me. I mean, why not? I love everybody. I have great value. I value people, and I love to add value to people. But sometimes in life, we have to be real. There are people who just don't like you for whatever reason. But even those people that nobody likes and who may not like me, And they usually have the wrong attitude when they try to correct me or they try to dress me down or whatever the case might be. But that is fine too, because I am always looking for the gold in the dirt, right? Whatever I receive, I look for the gold, I keep it, and the dirt, I just get rid of it. And the thing is, in life, I've learned that I don't always get gold from my friends and for people I like, but many times I actually get gold from the people who absolutely do not like me for whatever reason. So I am always learning, I am always growing, and I'm really grateful for that mindset today. So I'm going to share my screen again, and we are going to select the person I am going to challenge today. So I'm going to go to the wheel of names. And what this is going to do is going to allow me to randomly spin the wheel and select a member of my network, one of the 34,000 people who are connected with me on LinkedIn. And today, I'm going to challenge Jessica A. Rudd, MBA manager at Deloitte. We first connected on November 10th. I'm going to go to your LinkedIn page now. This is my day 10 of 21 days. We are almost halfway here. And Jessica, I would like to challenge you today to accept the 21-day gratefulness challenge. And if you do accept the challenge, the grateful challenge, what that means is every single day starting today, you are going to write one post on LinkedIn and you're going to be grateful for something for the next 21 days. And each day you are going to select somebody from your network. Looks like you are in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and you have about 7,000 people who follow you. So you are going to select one of those 7,000 people each and every day for the next 21 days to accept the challenge, to be grateful on social media and challenge somebody on their network as well. Again, Jessica, thank you for being one of my valued connection, and I do hope that you are going to accept the challenge. Okay, what I will do now is I am going to play one more clip from Shannon from the hour-long conversation we had about leadership, and I encourage all of you guys to please go back and watch the full episode, season 4, episode 111. And I will be back here tomorrow, Sunday. And tomorrow, I am going to have a 10-minute AI recap of the conversation I had with the one and only Dominique West. She's an up-and-coming cybersecurity executive, definitely a leader, inclusive innovator, and a mentor, breaking barrier in cybersecurity. And then on Monday, she should be here live. We are going to be talking again with Coach Devia Smith, investor, entrepreneur, and executive. Just do it, leadership, grit, and building freedom. And I love it when my guests can come back live so we can do the 10-minute AI recap, and then they can come back and let us know what they think is most important from what they shared on the podcast. All right, I'm going to play one more quick video with Shannon, and that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. And please, even if you watch the replay, let us know where you are coming from and what you are grateful for today. Thank you. To end, what I like to do is going to be really, really fast. Don't take too long to think. So it's going to be lightning round, rapid fire. Finish the sentence. Leadership is?
Leadership is love.
Wow, powerful. Okay, morning routine or practice that keeps you grounded?
Coffee.
Very good.
I have kids.
Very good. A book or quote that changed your life?
Courage is the price that life exacts for granting peace. It's wow. Amelia Earhart.
Yes, she was really something else. She reminds me a lot of my mother. She just wouldn't take no for an answer, would she? But very courageous. Okay, what inspired you most today?
Oh, I spent some time in a junior high classroom this morning, and the hard work and the focus and the curiosity of those kids definitely was inspiring.
Thank you for tuning in to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ. If today's episode added value to your leadership journey, be sure to subscribe, share, and join us again for more wisdom nuggets on how to lead better and achieve greater success. Remember, leadership is the most critical skill of our time. The world will always need leaders to inspire others, drive innovation, and execute meaningful strategy. So why not count yourself among the bold leaders shaping the 21st century? Until next time, stay inspired, stay committed, and keep leading with excellence.